Okay, y'all know what happened around here last time.
And we're gonna shoot over and pick up old Waylon wire over there. He does some cool stuff, rat rods, hot rods. So Waylon, let's see if that V12 doesn't burn out, or maybe you got something else. I don't know.
You talking to me?
Well, I guess I'm a poor judge of the YouTube community because I thought that was one of the best videos I've ever done. I guess because we had so much fun doing it. But it's gotten about half the views that most of my videos get. It got more thumbs down and negative comments than probably any of my videos ever have. And even a few people decided to let me know that they're not going to watch anymore and they're going to unsubscribe. And well, you might think, oh well, and be a little distraught about that. Oh, contraire, mon frere. I'm pretty thrilled about that. I'm bordering on ecstatic, actually. Because what that does, there ain't very many of them, but when they leave, what it does is it purges my channel of all them whiny little crybaby sissy little girly men, and that just leaves us cool people here to do cool things, and that's what we're going to do. So let's get to it. I do believe my pants are on fire. Looks like my chair's on fire. I believe my table's on fire. Oops! Hey, welcome to Rat Rodding. My name's Waylon Wire, and don't ever do what we do here on this channel. You know, this is the first mock-up I've done with the headlights on it. And the headlights and the fenders just changes everything. Well, I can pretty much guarantee you there's not another one like it in the universe. Maybe even the galaxy. Now, well, I've got to finish up I got to finish up the brackets that hold that nose in place underneath there. I'm going to finish this part that goes under this and locks it all down. And then I've got to slide that radiator. There's that big radiator over there. I got to slide that up under there and find its position where it's going to live, and I'll get it kind of tacked into place or mounted somehow in there temporarily. Then I'll pull this nose off and go ahead and build the brackets to hold the radiator in its permanent home. So I think it's time to crank up some tunes and just go ahead and get busy. Boy, there's just something about bending this old metal and beating it around and making it do what you want to do that's just something about that for me. It's just really fun. Well, let's see how I did. That ain't too bad, is it? Not too bad. I don't care about this down here. This doesn't have to fit anything down here. All the support's going to be up here in this area across here. That's about the curvature that I'm looking for, and about the place that I'm looking for it to be. If that makes any sense. Bad Chad would say, if you know what I'm trying to say. I get such a kick out of that guy. Quite a fabricator. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna beat one to fit the other side now. First thing I'm gonna do is put a curl on the end of this. That's what I did. That's what I did right here. And I keep curling that until it fits that cowl, the top of that cowl right down below the windshield there. Start to fit that pretty good, and then after that, I put it in the vise and I began to put a twist on it. And then I cut that angle to kind of line up with the piano hinge on that hood. No particular reason, just more aesthetically pleasing that way, I guess. I built this, I put this on this welding table probably 25 years ago. And I used to do a lot of yard art. And I could put, the reason I did that was, let's see if I can find a piece of round stock. I've got a big washer welded on there, so I could put a piece of round stock in there and start to give it whatever kind of curve I need. And then I can go ahead and finish the end of it off this way if I've got some gloves on and way to hold it. Anyway, that's what that's for. Was to bend round stock, and you can make a pretty good curve if you want to. Take some time. But today, I'm using it on flat stock, so let me go ahead and start putting a little curve on that. This part here, from here down, is going to be pretty straight, but the bend's going to be here, between here and here. And I'll cut this end off over here. Y'all can see that. I'll cut that off at the right length. I've got it longer than I need it to be. So right now, I'm going to go now I'm going to go fit it up on that cowl, see how close I am. I know this is probably not real interesting, but it's just what I happen to be doing right now. Yeah, you see I've got that laid up there, and I'll keep beating on that until I get this pretty good fit on there. And I can see right now I need to hit it right there. And that'll bring this down a little bit more. Not worried about the other end. I'm not going to carry you guys back and forth. I'm just going to go beat on it some more. Okay, I'm going to give that a couple more whacks. And I've got the curve pretty close. Now what I'll do is I'll start putting a twist in that. And then when I lay it up under that hood, it'll fit pretty good. I'll get you back over here and see. Yeah, I can see what I need to do. I need to bring this up a little, so I've got to hit it right there. Put a little bit more bend on it, and then I've got to have, I think I got to take a little twist out of it maybe. Not too much. I'm going to start to finesse it. I told Half-Ass Custom, I said, some people finesse metal. I just beat it into submission. He said, I do a little bit of both. All right, I'll take just a little twist out of that. Okay, so I've been pushing it that way and putting some twist into it. Now I'm going to take just a smidgen out of it. We're just about there. I'll nip a little off this end. I'll stick it up further and measure it. It's pretty close. So when I get those lined up, Got a pretty decent fit there on that hood. Motor Trend on Demand, I was going to say, and I don't get nothing for saying this, but man, what a deal. They got all the TV shows that are on, all the car shows, I should say. That's what I mean to say, not TV shows, but all the car shows, every car show you can imagine. It's all on there on Motor Trend on Demand. Roadkill's on there, Roadkill Garage, Hot Rod Garage, Engine Masters, on and on and on. All the car shows. And right now they're doing a special $2 a month. And regular it's $5 a month, I think, 4 or 5. But for 2 years right now, subscription right now, it's $2 a month, and you can't beat it. That's really, I don't watch TV. Anything I want to see is on that channel. Ian Roussel is on there. He's another fabricator that you really should watch. He does some amazing things with his bare hands, you know. And that's what I like watching these guys that grab that metal and bend it and just make it work, you know. Go ahead and get this mounted up in there like I'm going to do it. I see I need one little tweak right where my thumb is. I need to hit it with a hammer one time. Just one time. That's all. Okay, I hit it more than once because it was a little hammer, okay? But, yeah. Right there. Good enough. Okay, I want to do something else now. Well, I've got to grind this. I've got to grind this side down a little bit. It's a little bit taller than this side. So, you know, sometimes between my fussing and fretting over a millimeter here and a millimeter there, coupled with losing things, that's why some days I don't get a whole lot done. Well, I guess that's a pretty good looking airfoil, considering that nobody's ever going to see it. Oh well, I'll know it's there. Well, I got my little, I call it airfoil, because that's kind of the shape of it. But anyway, I got that all fabbed up and ready to go in. That's ready to weld in and then bolt the hood down to it. And you know, I could have just cut this off right here and made 2 little pieces and bolted it down. It would have served the purpose. But you see, shaping this metal and making that fit under there, that's the fun stuff, you know. And just chop it off, and it would have been very utilitarian, and it would have worked, and that's fine. But this is the fun thing for me, is shaping this metal and making it fit, making it go where it needs to go. And that's what this is all about, is just having a good time. And I know I don't do this fast enough to suit a lot of you guys, and I understand that. You know, I used to be in a big hurry too, but I'm not anymore. So I'm just having fun, and I ain't hurt nobody. And I'm just happiest when I'm out here in this shop banging and beating on metal. And I hope I die right here, just cutting and grinding and welding and spitting and scratching and having a good old time. Not that it matters if I'm happy or not, but anyway, that's what I like to do. So that's what I'm doing. And I made this way because this is how I wanted to do it. And it was totally unnecessary, but I enjoyed it. So I'm going to fit that up under there and bolt her down, and then get that radiator situated in there where it needs to go. Then I'll pull that nose off. I'll get it temporarily clamped in, however I have to do that. Then I'll pull that nose off and mount that radiator in a more permanent position. You know, for those of you who've been around here a while, you already know this, but the newcomers, I will say that I don't know a thing about building hot rods. You know, all I know is if you want something bad enough, you'll figure it out. You'll figure out how to do it whether you know how or not. And just not knowing how to do something, don't even slow me down. I mean, fools rush in where angels fear to tread. So I just do what I think needs to be done, and I need to support this hood. And I'm sure that I'm going about it maybe all wrong. Certainly not like everybody else would do it, or anybody else would do it. I don't know. But I've learned enough. I've learned along the way. I've taught myself 2 things. I've taught myself to make templates, I've taught myself how to tack weld. Boy, I used to weld stuff up, man. Kerwood gives me a hard time about my tack welds because, yeah, see, you tack that, you know, and the tack to me was lay down a bead about 6 inches long and a ½ inch wide, you know, yeah, that's a tack. Okay, I've got stuff tacked up on this rig, and I'm not welding everything up. All these supports I've got for my steering system and everything are just tacked in place because I might need to change something in it. It, you know, only took me 10 years to figure that out. But anyway, what I'm doing here is I'm going to put a support in here. It comes in here. It's not going to be real thick. It doesn't have to be. This is not going to be holding any weight. It's just for this hood to keep its shape. But the reason I'm not running a bar across here and then putting a support up to it or a solid piece in here or something, well, I need room for my radiator. So I don't want to be taking up a lot of this area in here. Because that radiator head will fit in here. It's big. Oh, it's humongous. But at an angle, it will fit. If you put it at an angle that it doesn't go too low, it's not going to hang out the bottom so much. But I need this area open here for that radiator. So I'm not going to make this go all the way across. I'm going to make one for each side. And then I'll just put it maybe a little wider down here so I have something to weld to, but then I'll just angle it up this way, and that'll allow me to lay the radiator in there. And I don't know, I guess you can see what I'm talking about, yeah. I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not, but that's what I'm going to do. And then when I get her done, I'll figure out if it's right or not. If it's not, I'll change it. But don't let, just because you don't know how to do something, don't let that scare you. Just, you'll figure it out. If you want something bad enough, you'll figure it out. That's what I built the Rockabilly. I never built a hot rod in my life. And I don't know how old I was, but I was old. I never built a car. But I wanted it, and I wanted it bad enough to figure out how to do it. So I've been driving that rig for 13 years. And enjoy it. I love it. Okay. I'm going to find a piece of metal and cut something out. I'm making little paper dolls today. Boy, I'm having fun. Well, that radiator is 25½ inches wide. This really doesn't have to be that precise. It's just my, my OCD, you know. Okay, I've been cutting and grinding and test fitting, and I think that's fitting pretty good. I'm going to tack it in place, and then I'm probably going to do most of my welding on the back side. There's a gap. Hello! There's a gap between the metal and this, which is what I want because I got a rubber pad in there. Come here, you. Yeah. Hope you guys can see that. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to tack that in place. Like I said, there's a little gap up here, which is what I want all the way around. I can just do the other side and show that radiator up in there and start getting it mocked up. But it's way past lunchtime and I'm way past hungry. Okay, I'm going to pick that up, get underneath there, push that up nice and tight against the metal, against this. It fits pretty tight to the other side. I need to push up just a hair, and then tack that on the back side. Now, I'm not an engineer, obviously, and a real engineer would have designed something a lot less time consuming, I guess, than that, but it's doing what I wanted it to do. It really firmed that top up. I don't want any wiggle in that hood, you know, when I'm jumping railroad tracks and when I go to jump the Snake River Canyon and all that. So it's solid. And another thing I really didn't want to put bolts down through this hood. I don't want to cut into that hood or drill into it. I like it nice and smooth on top as it is, because I'm going to spray that, clear coat that, and I want to keep all the patina there. A couple of bolts wouldn't have hurt anything, but this way, when I knock the props out from under this thing, there's going to be a little down pressure on it, and there will always be some pressure on that when I pull it in. You can see I've got bolts in the sides, and what I'll do is stick a punch in one bolt and pull it down tight and stick the other bolt in, and that'll bring it right back down tight on that bracket again. So I'm not an engineer, but I do have a plan, and that's exactly what I was shooting for right there. Finally got something nice. Finally got me something nice. You know, sometimes you just have to stop and maintain your equipment. Somewhere there should be, for all the world to see, statue of a fool made of stone, and there on his face gold tears should be placed. Do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Well, it seems to be real happy right there. I think it's time to pull that nose off there now, so I can get access to that and get it mounted in there. I can tell that's just right because it's just a little bit, I have to put a little down pressure on that, get the bolt out, and that's exactly what I wanted. That way, when I pull it down and the bolt in, it's going to snug it down real tight on that support that I made. Sure you know better? You sure? Okay. Oh. Sometimes, even an old Arky gets lucky. When I first made these supports, I made them too short. I messed up. So now, as it turns out, see, can you see? Oh, say, can you see? These blims are going to be perfect to mount the radiator. How about that? Isn't it wonderful when things work out like that? Okay, before a bunch of people get your panties in a bunch and start yelling at wailing and beating on their computers, let me say this. I know that radiator's in upside down. I know that, okay? Originally, it would have flipped this way. You get that? Flipped this way. This would have been on the bottom corner down here. That would have been your top where your top radiator hose goes, and that one down there is where the bottom one goes, which it still is. Now, in all my born days, I've done a lot of things mechanically that you're not supposed to do. And I've gotten away with a whole bunch of it. You know, once in a while something backfire on me, but I've gotten away with a lot of stuff. And you know, Kerwood didn't have room to put his radiator sideways in his Studebaker. And he put it in like this and it worked just great. Now, the thing is, this radiator does not have a cap. It's a closed radiator. But what it had was, it has this tank, this reservoir tank here. The cap's on it, and it has a 3/4 inch, like a heater hose, spout on here, which would run to the top of the radiator, so you fill your radiator that way. Okay, it's missing down there. It's been knocked off. It got knocked off in transport, this little spout. So I'm going to have one put on. But what I think I'm going to do is have this taken out and move down there where that spout was. You get that? It's right down there. You see that hole? Okay. So, yeah, have this put down there and have one of these, if you can see that, put right there. And the reason it's in upside down, grab hold of the camera and I'll explain this. The reason it's in upside down is because we got the small radiator hose goes there, small outlet here. We got a huge spout down there, and then we got a huge one down here, right here. Can you see that? I can't even see where I'm pointing. Pardon the camera work here. Just bear with me. Yeah, you can see it right there. So this big one has to go into that big one down there, and that's why it's in upside down. But I don't know why it won't work. It worked fine on Kerwood's Studebaker, and I think it'll work fine on this. I just need to get my inlets in the right position. Now, what else was I going to say about that? Oh, I'm going to send this radiator off. I'm going to send it off because it's old. Researched this radiator, and radiators like it, and about the nearest thing I can come up with is about a, I don't know. It's pre-80s. Somewhere from the 60s through the 70s, I guess. Anyhow, there's a company, they're about 100 miles from here, but they'll come and pick this radiator up. They come up here about once a week, and they service some of the larger orchard companies around here and packing sheds, and some of these rigs have hundreds of vehicles, you know, fleets. So they do all their radiator work, so they come and pick them up. And I talked to the guy, and their guy's going to pick this up on Monday, and I'm going to send it off and have it tested. It's old. I don't know if it's any good or not. I don't think, no, I never had it hooked up. When I started this engine and ran it, brought it up to temp, it still had that, I think it still had that reservoir on it. Yeah, I just had trouble getting it even warm enough. But anyway, I'm going to send it off, get it tested, and have them make those modifications. I talked to the guy, he said, well, we can do anything you want, you know. So that's what I'm going to do. If somebody thinks that's the wrong thing to do, you can let me know, but I'll probably have it back by then. We'll see. All right, I'm going to pull those headlights off of that nose over there because I don't want them to get broke. I just had to have them on there so I could just take a gander at it. I love the looks of that thing, and I love those headlights, how round those lenses are. So yeah, I'm going to take them off and put them back in the greenhouse out there so they don't get damaged. And I'm going to drop that radiator out of there and get it ready to go to town. Boot, scoot, and boogie. Okay, that's it for this video. Tune in next week, and what we're going to do is something. I don't know what, but we'll find out. Okay, appreciate you.